Hey everybody, it's Michael with Bay Area Hiking Guides, giving that information, giving you that knowledge to go out there and hike with confidence. And I cannot wait to talk about this one. I'm going to be talking to you guys about my top 10 places to go out and hike. Places I just can't wait to get back to, that I absolutely enjoy, and that make a really big impact on me and on my soul, and just places that I'm like, oh man, I sit down and I'm just there or hiking around and it's just breathtaking. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so welcome back to the channel, and if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe, like. We appreciate it. We do all kinds of stuff in the Bay Area. I've got some wonderful people that always come on this channel, and they're talking about some really good, knowledgeable information. So we're always talking about places to hike, plants and flowers and geography and all the stuff. Some really educational stuff as well. So you guys are welcome to join us. Feel free to subscribe. Please subscribe. So this is really welcome the newcomers. It's great to have you on. Alright, so I'm going to talk about my 10 places to hike, and I just got back from Mount Diablo. Well, actually, I'm going to get into that later after the video. I'll talk about the snow on Mount Diablo that we just had. Let's go ahead and dig into this top 10 places to hike. That's what you really want. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about this. And I'm going to primarily focus on just places that make a big impact on me and places that I just absolutely enjoy. Now, some of these places you do have to go a pretty good amount of distance to get to, but I didn't want to pick a bunch that are like, oh yeah, you got to do a 20-mile hike to get in there. Let me tell you, you're going to be rocking it. That's not fun. I kind of want to have some places on here that are a lot easier for the beginner, as well as some really good ones that are really challenging. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this, and I'll start with my number 10. My number 10 is Los Trampas. I absolutely love Los Trampas. It's always checking my black oaks. Those California black oaks are just, there's a few of them up there, especially on the Mordon Trail. And just all around, it's got some really good places to hike. It's got some really good ridges. It's got some nice views. All around, it's a great place to go. I absolutely love it. My favorite locations on Los Trampas is anywhere in the Alamo area. I love that area. Hemme, Camille, both those locations. I'm constantly going in there. Los Trampas is definitely on my 10. The reason it's not more in the top 5 kind of area, it's got a lot of mud. There's a ton of mud in Los Trampas. There's people that absolutely avoid it during the winter and the spring just because of how much mud there is. There's a lot of cattle that roll through Los Trampas. I'm not the biggest fan of cattle, but I don't want to get into it. And they're just constantly tromping all over that trail. It's just so crazy in mud. There's places that are so muddy in Los Trampas you can't even get by. So that's something that I really don't like too much about Los Trampas, and that's why it's 10, not 4 or something of that nature. But it's still a wonderful place to go. I love it in the spring. I love it in fall, and I also love it in the summer. But winter, All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the next one, which is Point Reyes. Point Reyes is gorgeous. I love Point Reyes. Number 9 is definitely something I look forward to go to all the time. It has a lot of diversity just within itself. You've got the beaches. You've got a lot of Douglas firs in there. Anyway, so it has so much diversity. They've got the lighthouses, and there's a lot of places that you can go and take the kids and really have a good time. There's easy hikes and there's difficult hikes, so you have just a massive difference in different things that you can do in Point Reyes. It's just wonderful, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Great for photography. And it's cheap. It doesn't cost anything to get in there, and they get a really great visitor center. Number 8 would be Round Valley. Round Valley, man oh man. And when I went there in spring, it just made a major impact on me. More than a lot of other places around here in the Bay Area. And I was just so... thank you to Bob Walker and the fact that we have that park there. And I'm glad that it was never a dump, because originally Round Valley was going to be a dump. They were planning to do a dump, and Bob Walker fought the heck out of it and made it a regional park. So up there in Brentwood, just beautiful, right down below Morgan Territory. The Miwok Trail and then the Hardy Canyon Trail, if you want to go up. Hardy Canyon Trail is beautiful, and you get that nice view, and you can overlook most of Round Valley there. Absolutely gorgeous. The wildflowers are incredibly good. The other thing about Warren Valley that I really like it's kind of got that storybook, that Hansel and Gretel kind of feel to it at times. There is cattle in there, so just let them go their way. But even with that, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love Round Valley. Definitely my number 8. My number 7. Number 7 would be, here we go, Castel Ridge, and going up to Castle Rock is just, oh man, Castel Ridge. So Castel Ridge is just so beautiful all year round. It's got those rocks and stuff that you can kind of roll around in a little bit. It's below Rock City, so it's not like Rock City, but it definitely has the same kind of style with the rocks. But once you get up to like Castle Rock, it's more of that. Now, Castle Rock does close. Not the whole park in general, but the part where the Castle Rock ridged section where that trail is, up there above, where all the peregrine falcons like to roam around, and those guys are fastest animal in the world that we have. Oh yeah. Those peregrine falcons, over 220 miles an hour. Those things flying at your face. Not going to be fun there. So during certain times of the year, they shut it down. Got a few more weeks left to check it out. In October, the light tone is orange, so that's a really good place to go and kind of get some photography as well, because the orange kind of hits those rocks and it gives it a nice color. But I love that section. It's really beautiful. Definitely one of my top places to go and roam around. And get up there if you can. We got a few more weeks left. Okay, so Castle Rock would be 7. My number 6 would be Lime Ridge. Is kind of a small little park, and it's very inviting for the beginner for sure. And I just have a sense of connection with Lime Ridge. I've actually had some real amazing nature experiences out in Lime Ridge. It did receive a fire a few years back. It was one of my favorite parks, and when it did have a fire, I was in crutches that time when that happened, and just being in crutches and having a torn meniscus and barely able to walk, and watching one of my favorite parks up in flames was not the best experience at the time. It is recovering very nicely since the fire. It is doing a dang good job. Nature has taken over and done a really good job of getting things back to normal again. And there is some sections of that did receive a pretty good heavy a heavy amount of fire, and it's not doing it as best as the job as recovering, but still nonetheless a lot of really good successful recovery there. Plus, thank you to the Contra Costa County Fire Department, CAL FIRE, all those firefighters that fought Lime Ridge section, because it got real close to some homes over there, and they did a dang good job of keeping that under control. So thank you guys so much for the work you put out there to keep that under wraps, because it was real close to homes. I mean, like literally in people's backyards, like right there. So thank you guys. So number 5 would be Morgan Territory. So Morgan Territory, this is kind of has a little connection with me, and the reason, one of the biggest connections, is absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning park. And it's also Bob Walker's like big park that he loved to go to and venture off before it became a park, and he rallied to get that park a regional park, and did a good job of it, and thank him for that so much. Rest in peace, Bob. You were a great guy. I always think about you every time I go up there. The views too, you get views from, you can look into Antioch or Brentwood, and then you also have views of Mount Diablo, and you can hike from there all the way to Mount Diablo too, so that's really cool. Or you can hike into Round Valley, into Brentwood. I mean, it's awesome stuff. All right, so the next one would be the Henry Coe. Henry Coe is just incredible, and I've been there a few times, and I really love that park, and I can't wait to go back. We're planning on going back in February. There is some really, it's just 88,000 acres. All those zones, there's so much hiking in there. The solitude is incredible. It gets snow just like Mount Diablo. But what I like about Henry Coe a lot is that it's so large, and there's a lot of really cool places to check out, and it's got things for all different hikers, easy to medium to real strenuous, and you can do some really nice, big, gigantic through hikes. If you want to start training for like the PCT or some really longer hikes, Henry Cove is a place to go. It's such a vastly large park with the 9 or 13 zones, and it's incredible, and I'm constantly studying the map for that. It's just, there's so much hiking in there. 88,000 acres is a lot. It's the second largest state park in California. Unfortunately, Anza Borrego is number 1, but not a big fan of Anza Borrego. That's another story. But Henry Cove, I think, I've been to Anza Borrego, and I think Henry Cove is better than Anza Borrego because it's got oaks. Oaks are, they play a major role in my decision making. So like oaks automatically like, bing, oak trees. All right. So Mount Diablo is my number 3. There's so much diversity in Mount Diablo. And to really be real with you here, Mount Diablo, I like to call it the Mountain of Four Faces, because each side has a different type of personality. It really throws different things at you. And you see different stuff kind of growing in certain sides. And it has challenges in different directions, and easy hikes and challenging hikes. And it's so massively diverse. If I want to go and throw up freaking, do a really good hike, I can do that in Mount Diablo. If I want to do a lighter hike, I can do that. If I want some really cool wildflowers, an easier hike, I can do that. It's got the Mount Diablo Falls there, which is really nice. Tons of oak trees. Just stunning, really good fall color. But I call it the Mountain of Four Faces, and the reason for that is because the south side's a little easier. It's got rolling hills and the oaks and stuff. If I want to shoot up the mountain really fast, I usually do the south because it's easier to get up. And then you've got the west side. It's got the Burma. We just talked about that before. That is some serious rolling hill there. That is a workout. And then the north side, all ruggedy and rockety terrain and windy trails and single tracks, and a lot of that kind of got that Sierras feel to it a little bit back there. But definitely a lot of different stuff that grows over there. So the north side's really fun for challenges and just really fun in general. Some really good spring flowers over there too, because a lot of that rock, a lot of that mineral deposit there. And then the east side is kind of the side that a lot of people don't go to. Thanks to, say, Mount Diablo, they've put a lot of impact into having that open. But a lot of people don't check out the east side. So the east side's rarely visited, and that has a lot of diversity as well. And there's a lot of that Mount Diablo mine stuff that's still there. That's just abandoned, so it's kind of got that apocalyptical kind of, I don't know, marshy zombie kind of feel. But then there's also some really challenging hikes. But there's places over there on the east side that don't get a lot of maintenance or attention, so sometimes you're whacking through freaking poison oak, which can't be fun. But it is such a diverse mountain. But Wall Point's my favorite. That's on the south side. That's a really nice fire road trail. Got great views. Really, really awesome. And I just enjoy it so much. And you can do some pretty cool loops with that as well. So definitely on that list is number 3. Number 2 would be Ohlone Wilderness. I cannot say enough about Ohlone Wilderness. Me and Beth sit there, and I mean, it's like every top 10 we've ever done, Ohlone or Sunol has been in that list. And the reason it's so high, and the reason we rave about it so much, is it's just so beautiful. You're off the grid. It's a big park. You can do a massive through hike. It's got great wildflowers, great rock outcroppings over there. A lot of the hiking, not a ton of mud, too much. And it's just so beautiful. And I've done the Ohlone Wilderness from the Sunol side multiple, I don't even know how many times I've done that. Just so gorgeous, especially in the spring. It looks like Ireland. And I've never been to Ireland, but I've had people come with me to see it that have been to Ireland, and they say that to me all the time. Oh, this is just like Ireland. It's like Ireland. And we did from Dalval. We went up from Dalval and checked it out over there, and there's a ton of black oaks right up the Big Burn. And then as you get higher up the ridge from Dalval and you get up to about 3,000 feet, it's nothing but just gigantic oak trees. So awesome place to go, awesome place to explore. And there's some pretty good areas to go to if you're getting into backpacking and want to check it out. That's also, and it's just so all around, just a great park. Henry Cal, the other Henry. I love Fall Creek, it's got the redwoods, absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. And we do have some other parks. Boutonneau is really nice too. Boutonneau's got the little Boutonneau Creek down there. Boutonneau's a good park to go to too for redwoods, and so is Ohlone Regional Park. But this one, Fall Creek, Henry Cal in Felton, is airplane. Thank you. Come on by. Come on. There you go. Do your thing. There he goes. I don't know where he's going. Maybe Vegas. When I go through there, it's actually a really easy hike too. It's easy to moderate. There's a little bit of a down, and then you gotta kind of go up a little bit if you're going from the parking lot. But it's just beautiful redwoods in there. Fall Creek that goes through there, it's just absolutely beautiful. And that pretty much runs year round. It doesn't dry out, so that's nice. And it's got a lot of that remains and abandoned lime kiln, so you got a bunch of history in there. And there's just a really majestic sense of beauty in there. Just really, really stunning stuff that I really, really enjoy. And every time I go there, I'm just stoked to go to Fall Creek because it's just so gorgeous. It just puts you in a really awesome mindset. The only downside about Henry Cal, if you go to the Fall Creek section, there's no bathrooms. So that section doesn't cost anything to park over there. But if you go to the actual main entrance of Henry Cal, you are paying for parking, and there's bathrooms available there. But the Fall Creek section, that does not have a bathroom. So have fun with that. Bunker down. I don't need to get into that, but it can be a little bit challenging for the small bladder folks like myself. Alright, thank you guys for checking out that video. Hope you enjoyed it. Go check out those places, and maybe you guys got your own places that you think are your top 10 places to go and hike that you really make an impact on you, because this is, you know, there's so much that we have here. I mean, there's a list, there's like 20 or 30 more that I could have mentioned here. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and if you got one that you like to talk about, leave a comment down below. And we can talk about that. I'd love to hear some of your wonderful places to go and hike in the Bay Area that you absolutely enjoy, that are making a big impact. Some people like Burma. There's a few people that I've met that are big fans of Burma and Mount Diablo. They love to go Mount Diablo and go up the Burma side. And if anybody ever says to me that their Burma is their favorite place to hike, I know I'm not dealing with a beginner. I know I'm dealing with a straight-up shooter McGavin. Thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed making this video for you guys, and you all have a wonderful day, and go 49ers. Let's win this one. Alright guys, take care. The stuff that I was going to talk to you guys about that I wasn't mentioning on this video, I went up to Mount Diablo, and it was during the snow that we had just a few days ago, and it was just so beautiful. I got to go up there during that transition of the snow. So it was pouring down rain coming up, and I went up from Diablo and hiked up, and it's just pouring down rain. So I've got all my rain gear on, trying to situate myself, and I've got all my camera gear, and it's just dumping rain. So I'm trying to keep everything dry. When I finally got up there, up past 3,000 feet, or just a little bit below that, starting from, I don't know what it is, 600 or something. So I'm shooting up there as fast as I possibly can. That's why I've taken a break today, because my body's like, hey! So I'm climbing up that, and the transition of the rain to then it starts going into sleet, and then it starts going into snow was so awesome. And then finally I got up to a point where it's just snow's falling, you know, and I'm looking up and I'm watching all the snow fall. It was so cool to just be in that moment. And usually, I guess I got there earlier because I didn't see any news vans. I barely saw anybody up there. There wasn't a bunch of, you know, people running around. So nice because I didn't hear anything. It was just silence and just watching the transition unfold. and watching the magic play its course was just breathtaking. And I kind of just sat there and just kind of enjoyed that moment. I really enjoyed everything about it, and just being as I watched the snow fall at 3,000 feet way away from everybody. And just a moment for me, a moment with nature. But just being in that moment and that's one important thing you want to do with nature is just, if you're going hiking by yourself, if you're one of those people that like to go and enjoy yourself up on a hike by yourself, always let people know where you're going before you head out. But that's one big thing that I like to do, is just kind of be and just sit in that moment and really enjoy and take in what's unfolding in front of my eyes. And it doesn't have to be snow. It can be a whole bunch of stuff. Watching rainfall or watching the wind go through trees is just breathtaking by itself. Just watching the relationship between the wind and the tree, and the relationship between the snow and the ground. It's just stunning.